Nobody expected the bond that would alter endorsement agreements in basketball for ladies indefinitely, when two of the most dynamic players in the WNBA crossed pathways when it's hot outside. Something remarkable came out of their rivalry between competitors that departed from sports. The business world was taken aback. The unexpected that brought about a complete transformation came when unexpected encounters with generational riches, kindness, establishing a collaboration that might transform the way female athletes assist one another in their professional athletics. However, what motivated the league's largest celebrity to create such an unprecedented action? In what ways did a rivalry establish an alliance that changes the game, causing Nike execs to rush to revise the endorsement guidelines? The consequences of this startling development was in danger of altering what we thought we knew about commercial relationships and athlete relationships, collaborations. Nike has transformed endorsements for women's BASKET, in previous years when the business has invested unheard-of levels in female athletes as the sport becomes more profitable and public awareness. The company's women's basketball dedication has expanded rapidly in tandem with rising audience size and fan interaction. Caitlin Clark agreed to a record-breaking 8-year alleged sponsorship agreement with Nike valued at more than $1 million. Includes chances for signature shoes as well as equity investments that symbolize the greatest endorsement package ever offered to a female basketball athlete. This agreement illustrates the significant change in how female athletes are valued by companies. The dynamic guard for Sophie Cunningham, the Phoenix Mercury has created as one of the partners. She of the most adaptable and thrilling athletes since being selected in Linger, Jolt, and the Arts. Her professional life Joler are averages, points per game, and record the number of rebounds in each game. Along with her ability to hit three-pointers, skill and level of defensive vigor have made her an important participant. During the course of her career, the landscape of WNBA players' endorsements has historically been restricted in comparison to two professional male athletes, with the majority players receiving a small amount of extra revenue from clothing and shoes offers instead of the contracts that change lives that characterize men's careers. Basketball. Questions emerge concerning how the growing financial success of women's basketball could lead to chances for more significant endorsement, collaborations, and if well-known celebrities may utilize their leverage to assist in other players' advancement inside the league. Caitlin Clark's commercial success goes well beyond her Nike contract, will involve collaborations with several companies that acknowledge her special capacity to draw on the general public. Women's basketball deserves special attention. Her marketability has changed significantly the environment for female athletes. The collaboration with Nike encompasses not just immediate financial long-term equity, in addition to compensation prospects and a distinctive product development that has the potential to bring in money both during and after Clark's career. This structure is an example of a novel model for how businesses handle relationships with athletes who are female. Clark's social media coverage surpasses 1 million followers on several sites, offering companies that have access to active audiences which encompass both conventional basketball and admirers and fresh viewers who learned about the sport during her time in college and achievement in the workplace. Her impact includes the sale of products with Clark's jerseys and associated items, constantly placing in the top in WNBA history as a seller. The advertisement, her presence's impact has produced fresh sources of income for teams, the league, and business associates. Experts in sports marketing observe that Clark's appeal, crossover, and widespread acknowledgement have produced leverage that earlier generations of basketball players of the women's trial team never possessed, potentially enabling her to utilize her position to support projects that help other athletes. Sophie Cunningham received a 7th overall draft pick by the Arts and Phoenix Mercury following an outstanding college career. Henelinger dual employment at the University of Missouri, where she scored during the career of Arling points and established herself as one of the program's most prolific scorers history while playing in the WNBA. Cunningham has grown to be a trustworthy, key player with a reputation for making three-point shooting precision. Censure with a bifunded, maintaining a career percentage beyond Yarkow's readiness to accept clutch shots during pivotal situations. Her adaptability enables her to play both successfully defend positions. The Phoenix, the veteran of Mercury, has been especially useful when the team runs the playoffs with her capacity to score goals off the bench and use her to test the defenses of others. Shooting from the perimeter, she has made appearances in regular season games for Ebit's sister during the course of her 5-year WNBA career. Cunningham's fierce rivalry and her focus on the team has made her a favorite of coaches and teammates. Despite her chances for endorsements have stayed restricted in contrast to higher media-rich profile players' interest and financial gain. Her basketball savvy and a polished demeanor have gained respect for the game across the league, which makes her the kind of athlete that championship teams use worth even when her efforts don't frequently appear in highlight reels or summary of statistics. Contemporary professional sports have witnessed a rise in instances of well-known celebrities utilizing their resources and platforms to improve rivals and teammates, generating cooperative strategies that contrast with conventional individual-focused models that are competitive. The WNBA's distinct player empowerment is emphasized in the culture, and reciprocal assistance with veterans frequently guiding both newcomers and well-established celebrities, promoting league-wide enhancements in wages, benefits, and employment circumstances that are advantageous to everyone participants. Thanks to social media, direct dialogue between participants that can strengthen bonds and partnerships that go beyond conventional team limits. Gamers can now encourage one another's efforts and form alliances without the help of league or franchise projects. The enhancing women's commercial success basketball has produced circumstances where high earners possess assets that could be advantageous to other participants through a variety of assistance methods, mentorship, or cooperative business endeavors. Sports commentators question whether the increasing prosperity of the elite female athletes could result in more examples of player-to-player assistance that contributes to improving sports in general business profile. And Nika possesses significantly raised their investment in sports for women during the previous 10 years. Acknowledging the expanding commercial potential and cultural importance of female athletes' accomplishments. The company's strategy incorporates both individual athlete collaborations and larger programs that support women's evolution of sports. The company's dedication to women's basketball particularly has included important investments made in WNBA collaborations, BASKET/BALL programs in colleges, and initiatives for grassroots development, intended to increase involvement and fan participation at every level of the athletics. Nike's approach consists of recognizing athletes that exhibit crossover appeal and widespread acknowledgement potential, thereby giving them access to resources that can increase their impact outside of the realm of basketball viewers. The business's strategy for women's sports endorsements currently consists of prospects for equity, distinctive product lines, and enduring collaborations that give athletes a steady income streams as opposed to straightforward one-time methods of payment. There are queries regarding Nike's heightened involvement in women's basketball could lead to chances for cooperation, collaborations between sportsmen, and whether the business could provide projects that have several advantages players at the same time. Expert deals for athlete endorsements have changed over time, going beyond basic payment schemes to include a product for equity investments, prospects for growth, and long-term collaborations that can offer continuous income during enduring athletic professions. The most accomplished sportsperson endorsement alliances generate reciprocal advantages for athletes and brands, with businesses getting access to active viewers, whereas athletes are given platform and financial stability, an expansion that increases their impact that goes beyond athletic achievement. Sports endorsements for women have trailed behind men's sports in the past regarding monetary worth, but recent increase in audience size and fan interaction has given women new chances, athletes to obtain significant business alliances. The arrangement, because contemporary endorsement agreements frequently comprises social incentives, performance bonuses, and prerequisites for media engagement, and cooperative marketing campaigns that necessitate the active involvement of athletes. In brand promotion collaborations, experts in sports business observe that the most beneficial relationships involving athletes who are able to accurately convey the ideals of the brand, while preserving their credibility with their core fan bases and limited room for growth. Reach fresh audiences. The rising elite athletes' financial success has generated chances for charitable programs and peer assistance that can have a big influence on sports communities as well as personal professions. Professional sportsmen who succeed significant financial success frequently makes use of their assets to fund philanthropic causes, initiatives for youth development, and projects that help other athletes who might not have comparable commercial chances. For contemporary athletes, endorsement agreements and contracts can offer monetary flexibility that permits well-known celebrities to make investments in other athletes' careers, whether via direct assistance, commercial collaborations, or joint endeavors. The prevalence of support has increased in professional sports, with well-known celebrities tutoring younger gamers and making use of their platforms to encourage colleagues and rivals who contribute to their overall athletic endeavors. Achievement. There are inquiries regarding how elite women's financial empowerment athletes may produce new models for peer assistance and cooperative achievement that are advantageous to whole sports communities instead of personal accomplishments by itself. Caitlin Clark's advertisement achievement signifies a new degree of monetary success for women's basketball players, producing chances to have an impact and influence that go beyond a person's career objectives to possibly help other athletes, as well as the sport in general. The extent of Clark's endorsement agreements and business alliances give her with assets that could allow for a number of ways to assist other gamers, either directly through financial support, commercial partnerships, or initiatives for platform sharing. Past standards in professional men's sports give a lot of examples of Finn's successful sportsmen utilizing their tools to assist colleagues, competitors, as well as the growth of sports projects that have wider sports-related communities. The distinct status as the best paid the history of a female basketball player may give Clark the assets and the drive to make use of her accomplishments for projects that raise other participants and increase prospects throughout the women's basketball season. 3. According to sports economists, the focus on business success, a select group of top athletes, produces both opportunities as well as obligations for those sportsmen to think about how their achievement could help their sports and rivals. Social media platforms have radically altered the way professional athletes engage with one another, facilitating direct connection in some way, and cooperation that may result in unforeseen alliances and reciprocal assist with projects. The spread of social media posts indicate that the athlete exchanges and cooperative announcements have the potential to produce substantial influence and attention that is advantageous all participants while increasing favorable sports-related messages. Communities. Female athletes have been especially proficient in utilizing social media to assist one another in their pursuits and produce cooperative content that displays the character and personality that contribute to the appeal of women's sports for sponsors and supporters. The real partnerships and reciprocal assistance that are evident through encounters on social media generate uplifting stories about sports for women that draw in new followers and business associates that are eager to connecting with empowering and positive content. There are inquiries regarding how connections on social media between athletes may have real-world applications, partnerships, and whether the platform one can use influence to generate observable advantages for sports communities, as well as personal professions. In WNBA culture, veterans are valued. Mentoring and leadership with established players frequently engage in active roles in assisting younger athletes both off the court and on it. This cooperative attitude is in contrast to more competitive and individual-focused models in different sports. Knowledgeable gamers such as those who have collaborated with Cunningham over the course of her career recognize the difficulties of creating long-term employment in women's professional basketball and frequently offer direction that goes beyond, including business and basketball strategy as well as life skills. The regard for one another between rivals that are aware of the contributions made by others to the sport can establish connections that go beyond individual devotion to the team and dynamics of competition during games and seasons. Veteran leadership in the field of women's basketball frequently involves support for salary increases across the league, advantages, as well as workplace conditions that benefit every participant instead of concentrating only on personal accomplishments and acknowledgement. Sports commentators observe that the culture of cooperation in women's basketball provides chances for well-known celebrities to capitalize on their fame and sway to help other participants in ways that bolster the whole. The competitive nature of sport and commercial attractiveness. Contemporary endorsement contracts routinely incorporate clauses for cooperative marketing campaigns and shared chances for promotion that can help a number of athletes concurrently while optimizing brand exposure as well as involvement. The arrangement of Nike's collaborations with female basketball players frequently highlight establishing lasting relationships and platform development as opposed to straightforward transaction-based agreements that offer temporary promotional benefits. Initiatives for cooperative endorsement can produce win-win situations in which well-known celebrities share platform access and chances for promotion with other athletes, possibly growing the brand reach while offering assistance for gamers who might not otherwise get comparable commercial focus. The joint marketing success women's sports campaigns have proved that genuine connections and assistance from one another frequently create more captivating content and closer ties with fans than individual targeted marketing techniques. Nike's investing strategy is dotted with women's sports are focusing more on fostering community and working together. Projects that highlight the genuine connections and reciprocal assistance that describe women's sports communities. The company's strategy for women's basketball collaborations consist of assisting with beneficial efforts numerous athletes and encourage constructive stories concerning the culture of women's sports, competition, culture, and community. Nike's advertising campaigns frequently showcasing women's basketball highlighted cooperation, respect for one another, or not, and cooperative achievement instead compared to personal success alone. Representing the genuine culture of professional basketball for women. The organization's long-term plan for women's sports involves recognizing chances to assist athlete-led actions that exhibit the ideals and qualities that contribute to women's basketball is appealing to the general public. Viewers and business associates concerns are raised over how Nike's cooperative strategy for women's sports marketing could lead to new opportunities for athlete collaborations and if successful personal recommendations could incorporate clauses that support other competitors in the same sport. The boosting elite's financial success, female athletes generate opportunity, seeking fresh approaches to peer assistance and cooperative career advancement that could be advantageous to whole sports communities. Instead of personal accomplishments, by itself, the standards being set, athletes of the present generation, may impact how upcoming athletes approach their financial achievement and whether resource sharing and platform sharing. Cooperation becomes commonplace. Among top athletes, the optimistic fan, considering the way the media portrays real athletes' connections and reciprocal assistance, implies that cooperative projects create meaningful interaction and commercial interest that is advantageous to everyone participants in ways that are sustainable. The changes in endorsement deal structures as well as brand collaboration, a moment of stash tactics may increasingly consist of supplies for each athlete, cooperation and community assistance activities that increase positive stories pertaining to women's sports. Athletics business analysts question if the present era could be a tipping point. An example of how top sportsmen utilize the financial achievements and if cooperative models could turn into common methods for assisting community development in sports and growth of opportunities. The meeting of boosting business, success, public awareness, and cooperative women's basketball culture produces prospects for collaborations with athletes. Support back projects that could change the way that careers in professional sports are grow and maintain themselves. The opportunity for well-known celebrities to utilize their resources and venues for assisting other athletes is an exceptional occasion in the history of women's sports when personal achievement can result in wider advantages for the community and growth of opportunities. Not Benton. The favorable reaction from supporters, the press, and business associates to genuine connections between athletes and cooperative efforts indicate that models of mutual assistance produce long-term involvement and business value that is advantageous to each and every player. There are still concerns over how such cooperative projects could include designed and carried out to optimize advantages for each and every party concerned whilst preserving genuine connections and integrity of competition inside settings for professional sports. The implications might imply that the current women's basketball generation stars might set new standards for how achievement in sports might be utilized to benefit whole sporting communities and establish long-term possibilities for upcoming generations of female athletes. If you find this potential as astounding, revolutionary partnership as we are, feel free to give this video a like. Put down your comments with your ideas. Do you believe successful athletes ought to make use of their resources to help other players? How collaboration is crucial as opposed to individual success in constructing long-term professions in women's sports? We would like to know what you think about this may have implications for the future of relationships and endorsements with athletes' bargains. After that, select subscribe and click the bell to ensure you don't miss our information about how basketball for women is still change and create new things. Thank you for observing.